Louder. Krishna, Hare Hare. One more time. Everybody. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Oh Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo. Jayam Vishnupad, Paramahansa Purvikacharya, Astatara Sattva Srimad. His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad, Paramahansa Purvikacharya, Astatara Sattva Srimad. His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gogopinath Shai Mukunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Sri Mayapur Dhama Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Pranta Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Yuga Dharma Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai, Priya Madanga Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai, Transcendental Krishna Prasadam Distribution Ki Jai, Go Premanandi, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga.
Hare Krishna. Jayo Radha Madhav Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Ballava Girivardhari. Jayo Radha Madhav Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Ballava Girivardhari. यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजना यमुना तीरावन चारी यमुना तीरावन चारी जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन बल्लभ गिरिवरधारी. यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरावन चारी. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. जयो राधा कालचंदी राधे. जयो राधा गोविंद राधे. जयो राधा दामोदर राधे. जयो जगन्नाथ जयो बलदेवा जयो सुभद्रमैया. निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर. जयो जयो प्रभुपाद Prabhupada, Jayo Jayo Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada. Jayo Jayo Gurudev, 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 Jayo Jayo Gurudev. Jai Gurudev. Jayo Jayo Shri Chaitanya, Jayo Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jayo Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Chandra Jayo Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jayo Jayo Shri Chaitanya, Jayo Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jayo Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Advaita Chandra, Jayo Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jayo Jayo Shri Chaitanya, Jayo Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jayo Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. All right, so we are reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is Madhya, chapter 8. This is talks between the Lord and Ramananda Rai. So as we know, we have heard, this is a very, very exalted, elevated topic. I'm not at all qualified, but I have the service, so I'm doing my service. So where are we right now is both Ramananda Rai and Mahaprabhu met each other, and they're extremely happy. First, Ramananda Rai glorify Mahaprabhu, then Mahaprabhu, and it goes back and forth. They keep glorifying each other. And today we are on text 50. Here, just now, like Mahaprabhu was, I think I read it already, like Mahaprabhu is just finished glorifying Rai Ramananda, and then the conversation move ahead from there. I also got this book. This is called In Search of the Ultimate Goal of Life, Sri Ramananda Sambad. Sambad means a conversation. This was by Srila Prabhupada before he came here. And this book was actually recommended and mentioned by Keshav Maharaj. He was here a month before, and he was saying, if you believe that you have read all Srila Prabhupada's book, if you haven't read this one, then you actually haven't. So I definitely haven't, but I still ordered it. Fortunately got it. And we will see. And I was also thinking, Prabhupada anyway has given the purport. Do we really need to read it? Is it like just a repetition? We read here, we read again. But in the forward, in the preface, either forward or in the preface, the author is mentioning this. We might think that way, that this is just a repetition, but it is not. It is like Srila Prabhupada's ecstasy. And this is when Prabhupada was back in India and didn't travel to US or Western countries yet. So we might read a little bit from there, but this is like Srila Prabhupada's book. So we can read it in our own time, personal time as well, but we will see if we can read some today. Yes? This is the same. This is Rai Ramananda Sambad. This is the same thing. Yeah, South India. We are in South India right now. So this is, which one? This one? This is actually an old book. Yeah. Yeah, it's completely in English. This is called In Search of the Ultimate Goal of Life, Sri Ramananda Sambad, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, but not printed. It is like his disciples found it and they printed after Srila Prabhupada. But he wrote it. This is his. Yeah, it is in English. No, it is in English. I don't know if they translated, but nothing is mentioned. Seems like he wrote in. He was writing it parallelly with Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, I believe. But he had so many manuscripts. Yeah. So this is text 50, Madhya text 50. Madhya 8, text 50. So this is Bengali. I'll read by myself. If you feel inspired, please ask me to stop and then we can read together. Or maybe the first one we can repeat after I read once. Say my prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Praying at the lotus feet of my spiritual master, our dear most Srila Prabhupada and all the Guru Vargas, may I speak few words in the glorification of our dear Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. For the pleasure of the Vaishnavas and for my very own purification, Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patida Nam Pavane Bhyo Vaishnave Bhyo Namo Nama Mukum Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam. Before that, there's a beautiful verse on Adi 14:1. Kathanchana smrite yasmin dushkaram sukaram bhaved vismrite vipritam syat Shri Chaitanya namami tvam. Translation: things that are very difficult to do become easy to execute if one somehow or other simply remembers Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But if one does not remember him, even easy things become very difficult. To this Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I offer my respectful obeisances. So today's verse, we can repeat after once I read, then we can repeat together. তোমার মুখে কৃষ্ণ শুনিয়া হয় শুনিতে হয় মন পুনরাপি পাই যেন তোমার দর্শন. You want to read together? Madhya 8. I'll continue, Mataji. You can read with me. You want to read with me? তোমার মুখে কৃষ্ণ কথা শুনিয়া হয় মন. Madhya 8, text 50. I'll continue, Mataji, so that we can wrap up on time. And then you can come back if you want to read something else. You want to read, Prabhu? Okay. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Actually, this is a very, very beautiful verse if we understand it without the translation. Tomar mukhe is like, from your mouth. Krishna Katha is Krishna Katha. Shunite, like when to hear, hoy mon, like my heart desires. Punorapi pai jano, again I should. Tomar darshan, again I should get your darshan. The translation by Srila Prabhupada. I wish to hear from you about Lord Krishna. Indeed, my mind is inclined to desire this. Therefore, I wish to see you again. This is Mahaprabhu is saying to Rai Ramananda. So just now Mahaprabhu finished glorifying Rai Ramananda. And then he said, seeing you, I feel like hearing Krishna Katha from you. So I want to see you again. Because right now they are standing on the banks of Ganga. They cannot be there forever. And Prabhupada, such beautiful purport today's verse has, like very, very wonderful ones. So we will read them along. So Mahaprabhu is right now, if you can imagine the scene, Mahaprabhu in his wonderful golden complexion and wearing saffron robes and meeting Rai Ramananda. And he wants to meet more. It's like seeing a bestest of friend after a long, long time. And because as Prabhupada mentions in his purport, Rai Ramananda was Vishakashaki. And as we know, Lord Chaitanya is in the mood of Radharani. They want to meet, hug, and talk and whatnot about Krishna. But because they're in a social atmosphere, the Brahmanas are watching and others are there. So they want to do that in more confidential way, in more private way. So, but they have to leave each other right now. So Mahaprabhu is saying, now we have to go because a Brahmana invited him earlier in the verses we read. So he has to go. And even Rai Ramananda has to go to his office. He is a government officer. But we will meet. They are fixing a meeting time. As I'm saying it, one thing that comes to my mind is we have to go to work, we have to cook, we have to do so many other social obligations. But meeting a devotee at the end of the day, or reading Srila Prabhupada's book, or doing Harinam, or anything for that matter, something that relates to Krishna, should be always our, the heartfelt desire, the thing that you really want to do. For a materialistic people, if you just ask them, what do you want to do? They will say, I want to sleep. This is the most I have heard, that I want to sleep. Like Muchukunda, right? I want to sleep because they're so exhausted with thinking and, exercise. Yes, you're saying something? So they want to sleep. That's all they want. But for a devotee, there's so much we have, right? We do our day-to-day things, but even if we're working at office with other materialistic people or whatnot, but our desire is, when will I go back and read my, Chaitanya Charitamrita or Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita? I'll meet this devotee, that devotee. We'll go in the evening. Now we have this wonderful, wonderful attraction in the evening. 7 to 8, we come together and we offer Damodar, Yashoda Damodar lamp, ghee lamp, and then we sing Damodar Ashtakam, we read the meaning. And this is like a 1 month of, it is not a 1 day or 2 day Diwali. When we were younger, we will celebrate 1 day as, in Bengali, actually, Bengali culture, we celebrate Kali Puja, goddess Kali. And then the next day is when we burst the crackers. That's 2 days. But Krishna's mercy, we have the entire month. What to talk of the entire year and lifelong celebration. But at least this 1 month is so, so amazing. Evening, morning you're doing everything, but back of the mind, evening we have to go and, offer the lamp. So you adjust your schedule. And that's how we see Mahaprabhu is excited to meet Rai Ramananda. Though he's Krishna conscious throughout the day, but he wants to meet Rai Ramananda. And similarly, we understand that Rai Ramananda, when he's working his doing his official duties, he's excited to meet Mahaprabhu, who would not want to meet the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? So the next verse, this is 51 and 52. Raye kohe aila jodi pamoro shodhite darshan matre shuddho nahe mor dushto chitte dino pache sat rohi karo ho marjana tobe shuddho hoye mor ei dushta mana. Raye kohe. For your pleasure, I'm also reading what my Bengali understanding, and also I'll read Srila Prabhupada's translation. Rai kohe, Rai is saying, kohe means saying, Aila jodi pamoro shodhite, if you have come to uplift the fallen one, darshan matre shuddho nahi nohe mor dushto chitte. I'm so fallen, my heart is so contaminated that just by seeing it's not enough. Just seeing you might be enough for some other people who's not so fallen, but I'm extremely fallen. So I need more than just darshan. Dino pacho shato rohi koro no koro marjana. This marjan, what we know, like gundicha marjan. Marjan means cleaning. So you have to stay for 5 to 7 days and do the marjan, do the cleaning of what? My heart. Tobe shuddho hoye mor ei dushta mana. When you do the marjan, when you do the cleaning, then only this dushtaman. Dushta means, in Hindi also it's called dushta means naughty, but here it's more than that. It's like contaminated. Mon is like, dushtaman, it's contaminated heart. Then if you do the marjan, you do the cleaning, then my heart will be purified. Translation. Ramananda Rai replied, My Lord, although you have come to correct me, a fallen soul, my mind is not yet purified simply by seeing you. Please stay for 5 or 7 days and kindly cleanse my polluted mind. After that much time, my mind will certainly be pure. 53. Yadapi. Okay, before that we were hearing Srila Prabhupada's lecture on Canto 6. Don't remember the canto, actually, the verse number. maybe it is 16, but I don't remember the chapter. So Prabhupada is talking about this example of how a wine bottle, he is not saying bottle, he is talking about a wine barrel, like a pot of wine. And he has been giving this example almost like 4 or 5 lectures continuously, consecutively. He's saying, wine pot, if you wash it with water, no matter how much you wash it, the smell wouldn't go. This is so contaminated that no water can clean it. It cannot be used for any other purpose. He says, similarly, we are so contaminated with sins, so contaminated. No austerity can clean us. No amount of austerity can clean us except Krishna Bhakti. He said, you may do so much, but we are so polluted, like that barrel of wine or the barrel of alcohol. It cannot be cleansed with water, so our sins cannot be cleansed just with austerities. But we need Krishna Bhakti. And he said, just doing for ritual, and another point he said, just doing things for ritual, doing the austerity for the sake of it is not enough. That our austerity must increase our love for Krishna. If that austerity gives love for Krishna, then it is good enough to purify our sins. Verse 53. যদ্যপি বিচ্ছেদ দোহার সহনো না যায় তথাপি দণ্ডবত করি চলিলা রামারায়. Jodhapi, even though বিচ্ছেদ means being separated, dohar shahana na jai, though they could not tolerate their each other's separation, even though they could not tolerate, tothapi, even then, dandavat, they paid each other obeisances and cholila Ram Rai. So Ramananda Rai left, even if they could not tolerate. Sometimes we have to do, right? We have to, even if we like talking more and being together more, but we have to do other things and sleep and eat and whatnot. So we have to leave each other, but you don't feel like, and you wait when you meet again. Translation. Although neither could tolerate separation from the other, Ramananda Rai nonetheless offered his obeisances to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and departed. 54. প্রভু যায় সেই বিপ্র ঘরে ভিক্ষা কইল দুই জনার উৎকণ্ঠ আসি সন্ধ্যা হইল. Lord Sri Chaitanya translation. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went to the house of the Brahmana who had invited him and took his lunch. When the evening of that day arrived, both Ramananda Rai and the Lord were eager to meet each other again. So this would have happened to many of us. We would have experienced, like, we are waiting for something, you want to meet this special person, but we are throughout the day, you are doing things. And then, but your mind is continuously thinking, oh, when will I meet this person? When will I meet this person? And Prabhupada, again, in his lecture, he was explaining this, like how a lady, because Krishna says to Arjuna, right? Ma manusmara yuddhacha. 8.7 Bhagavad Gita says, you do whatever, of course, with the 4, with the whatever is allowed, within that allowed bracket, we can do whatever. But think of me. Always think. Yuddhacha is in our day-to-day life also, not just fighting in literal sense, but also day-to-day stuff. But remember me all the time. And Prabhupada was then, he quoted this and then he said, how is it possible? He gives the example of a lady who has a husband and also a paramour. She might be doing so many things in the house as a duty, but in her mind, she's always thinking, when will I meet this person? When will I meet this person? Similarly, we might be doing so many activities as an obligation, but in our deep of our heart, we should always be concentrating on Krishna's form, Krishna's leela, Krishna's quality, Krishna's name, everything Krishna. So that's what was happening to almost, to Rai Ramananda Rai. Ramananda Rai, he was working, but they were utkantha. The word is used as utkantha. They were excited. Like, when will I go and meet Utkantha? The second line says Utkantha. They were excited. They were waiting for the time. 55. প্রভু স্নান কৃত্য করিয়াছেন বসিয়া এক ভৃত্য সঙ্গে রায় মিলিলা আসিয়া. So this Rai Ramananda Sambad happened in South India. Though it says South India, I'm a little confused because when we went to Orissa, this place is in Orissa actually. So, no, that is Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Rai Ramananda's is in Ganga's, yeah. So if you go to Orissa, you will see that where the conversation happened between Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. I got confused between Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Rai Ramananda. Jai Shri Radha Kalachand ki jai. So you go there in Orissa this time when we went, we saw this place where, and they have made a nice, wonderful sculpture of Ramananda Rai and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu there. Of course, you cannot take picture there. But it's a beautiful place where you see, this is also Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house, you see his deities. So in a similar, and we were reading about this few chapters back. So similarly, Rai Ramananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gonna talk again like that conversation. So this is South, sorry for being confused, getting confused. So Prabhupada's some instruction coming up. Translation. After finishing his evening bath, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat down and waited for Ramananda Rai to come. Then Ramananda Rai, accompanied by one servant, came to meet him. Purport. A Vaishnava who is supposed to be advanced in spiritual understanding, be a householder or a sannyasi, must bathe 3 times a day, morning, noon, and evening. When one is engaged in the service of the deity, he must specially follow the principles of the Padma Puran and take regular baths. He should also, after bathing, decorate his body with the 12 tilakas. Prabhupada's instruction for a Brahmana especially should take 3 times bath. And then after bath, you always decorate your body with the 12 tilakas. Like we do Om Keshavaya Namo, Om Narayana Namo, Madhavaya Namo, like that, 12 places of your body. So 3 times bath he recommended. I heard this story from whom I don't remember, but this is about Radha Govind Maharaj. He was in the airport and then somebody came. I think in this somewhere in the Western country itself, in the airport, this devotee came and, not devotee, other person, somebody else came and said, oh, are you that religion who takes a lot of bath? So Maharaj was saying that we are known as, bathing religion also, apart from kitchen religion. I was just thinking like, we keep clean is one of our principle. So 56. Namaskaro koilo rai prabhu koilo alingane dui jane Krishna kotha koye rohoshane. Rahoshyostane. Prabhupada will explain the translation. Ramananda Rai approached Lord Sri Chaitanya and offered his respectful obeisances, and the Lord embraced him. Then they began to discuss Krishna in a secluded place. The word Rahastane, in a secluded place, is very important. Talks about Krishna and his pastimes, especially his pastimes in Vrindavan, and his dealings with the gopis are all very confidential. They are not subject matter for public discussion because those who have no understanding of the transcendental nature of Krishna's pastimes always commit great offenses, thinking Krishna to be an ordinary human being and the gopis ordinary girls. Following the principle of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who never discussed the dealings between Krishna and gopis publicly, devotees in the Krishna consciousness movement are enjoined not to discuss the pastimes of Lord Krishna in Vrindavan in public. For the general public, Sankirtan is the most effective method to awaken Krishna consciousness. If possible, one should discuss the principles enunciated in the Bhagavad Gita. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu followed this principle very strictly and discussed the philosophy of the Bhagavad Gita with learned scholars like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Prakashananda Saraswati. However, he taught the principles of bhakti cult to students like Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami, and he discussed with Sri Ramananda Rai the topmost devotional dealings between Krishna and the gopis. For the general populace, he performed Sankirtana very vigorously. We must also follow these principles in the preaching Krishna consciousness all over the world. So this is for preaching. So what we talk with what kind of devotees, even amongst devotees, Mahaprabhu differentiated what do we talk with whom. So he said with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Prakashananda Saraswati, he discussed the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. We are not this body and we are the soul and soul is eternal. Nahanyate hanyamane sharire, like that. And then again with Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami, he taught how to perform. And then with Rai Ramananda, he discussed the dealings of the gopis. As I'm discussing, I'm thinking this is like Sambandha, Avidaya, Prayojana. Sambandha is what is our relationship. Bhagavad Gita tells what is our relationship with the Lord. Who are we? We are the servant, Jiveshwarupai Krishna Nitya Das. We are the eternal servant of Krishna. So that's Bhagavad Gita. And then Avidya, the process. But now we have known. Prabhupada says, Athato Brahma Jigyasa, that, now that I have awakened, you ask this question, who am I? Who is Lord? What's the relationship between us? These are all basic questions. Some people, they think this is the end of all. But this is the beginning. Once you know who you are, what's your relation with Lord, then actually the real work starts. Now you have to know what do you do with that relationship. You cannot just sit. Now you have realized your relationship. Now you have realized your position, Lord's position. Now the job is, how do I serve in this particular relationship? So that's Avidya. So that's what he taught Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami. And Prayojana is the prema, the love of Godhead, for which every devotee is striving. And we read in the morning, right? Banchakalpataru, and then we said we must avoid the offenses towards the holy name so that we can get the ultimate goal of life, which is Krishna Prema. And with whom he discussed is Rai Ramananda. So we are discussing Prema. We will be discussing Prema. So that's why this chapter is so exalted. And I'm not so qualified at all. But anyway, 57. Prabhu, and also I just wanted to, when I was reading it, I was also thinking, if you hear Srila Prabhupada, you hear mainly of, even if in Srimad Bhagavatam classes, we are in Canto 6, we are listening systematically Srila Prabhupada's lecture, and you hear Bhagavad Gita mostly you hear Bhagavad Gita, nothing much. But even in Bhagavad Gita, you have such wonderful realization. The mood of Srila Prabhupada, the mood of a devotee that should have. Amazing. And only a person like Srila Prabhupada can do it. So verse 57. Should I continue reading this or shall I read a little bit from here? I don't know what to read from here though. What do I do, Prabhu? You tell me. You are the Okay. I'll read that for 5 minutes. Pause that. This is something that Prabhupada wrote when he was in his own time. He didn't know he will have so many temples, so much of popularity. So this is very, very intimate. Okay. Even the prayers, if you see, are written in English. Om Agyanati Mirandhas. Everything is in English. I'll just read for 5 minutes. So this is from the book. While on tour of South India, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived on the banks of the river Godavari, where he met Sri Ramananda Rai, a great devotee of Sri Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, a great devotee of Sri Krishna. Lord Chaitanya expressed a deep desire to hear about Sri Krishna from the lips of Ramananda Rai and requested that Ramananda Rai recite a verse from the revealed scripture concerning the ultimate goal of life. Ramananda Rai then replied, Swadharma Charane Vishnu Bhakti Haya. Actually, this all verses, what we will read here, is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita and that's vice versa. If a person performs the prescribed duties of a social position, he awakens his original Krishna consciousness. Supporting his statement, Ramananda then cited a verse from the Vishnu Puran 389. Varnashrama, Varnashrama Charanavata Purushena Parampuman Vishnu Raradhyate Pantha Nanyat Dosha Karanam. The personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, is worshipped by the proper performance of prescribed duties in the system of Varna and Ashrama. There is no other way to satisfy the personality of Godhead. One must be situated in the institution of the four Varnas and Ashramas. Varna and Ashrama jeopardized. This book also has like titles. So he has written a little bit and then given a title, written a little bit and given a title to the, or a subheading to the topic. Varna and Ashrama jeopardized. Hearing the statement from Ramananda Rai, Lord Chaitanya replied that the system of Varnashrama Dharma was external and thus it was not acceptable. Lord Chaitanya also rejected the statement of Ramananda because the system of Varnashrama Dharma is now jeopardized by the influence of the present age of Kali, the age of quarrel and fighting. In the Bhagavad Gita, the personality of Godhead declares that Varnashrama system is created by him, although he is aloof from such a system. Because the Varnashrama system is a creation of the personality of Godhead, it is not possible to do away with it. However, the nefarious activities of the people of the age of Kali can jeopardize the Varnashrama system. We have purposely used the word jeopardize because the whole system still exists but in a reflected form. In Varnashrama system of social management, the aim of life is to attain the favor of Lord Vishnu, the all-pervading personality of Godhead. Unfortunately, at the present moment, the aim of life is to displease the all-pervading Godhead and thereby suffer perpetually under the laws of material nature. The goal of the Varnashrama system is to peacefully perform the prescribed duties of humanity and thereby achieve the highest success, namely the favor of Lord Vishnu. But when the aim of life is planned exploitation of material nature, all life is jeopardized on account of the human race fighting with the laws of nature. I'll pause here. So basically, this is like going back and forth with Chaitanya Charitamrita. One good thing is, at least for myself, when I read just the book, then I often forget. But if we go back and forth, like, Gaurang Darshan Prabhu's Subodhini, if you read, so it is like a good revision. So either way, so we will continue doing that. So at this point, I'll pause and please forgive me for the mistakes that I have committed. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuvevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo nama. Please go ahead and give your correction, comments. Yes, Prabhu. We have a mic. Sorry. Sorry, I'm making you walk.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu.
It's on?
Yeah.
My question has to do with sometimes
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like the material. Yeah, I think you have to hold little. I don't know how it functions. I think you have to hold little closer the mouth. Yeah, yeah.
so sometimes I meet like very advanced devotees.
Yeah.
So
then afterwards, somebody who hears that, who's trying to learn about spiritual life, is the teacher. That I have no realization, I have no cultivation, and it kind of sounds pathetic. Like if you go to a college university class and you want to learn something advanced, and then the teacher says, "Well, really, I don't understand any of this. I have no real deep realization, but I'm here to give you the class." So, yeah, on one hand, we're talking about the devotee being humble, but on the other hand, you know, isn't there, like, after 50 years of practice, preaching all over the world, studying all the books, being a scholar and political and everything, doesn't that person deserve any, or have continued to be expected to have any realization? Just like you were raised in a culture where you say, I have no realization of this, I'm so sorry, over peace, I'm really not qualified to be here. So how do you balance that, and how do you inspire somebody to want to take it up? I'm thinking, oh my God, if somebody's spent 50 years and they have nothing, realization, they have no advancement at all, what value is this? If there's no hope for a woman that's raised in Bengali, in the culture, everything, and she has nothing, no advancement, then why should I be? It's a useless.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu. So I will just quickly summarize what you mentioned. Yeah. So you were saying that if wonderful devotees who have practiced Krishna consciousness for so long and they give class, you're mentioning about a devotee and he said that he doesn't have any realization, and he spoke about Bhagavad Gita and then he didn't have any realization. So in a mundane world, when we go and the teacher is saying, I don't know anything, and you don't feel like learning from them, obviously you wouldn't feel like. So how does it work here? I had this question too. And we were taking teachers training, and our teacher, the Prabhuji who was taking teacher, he's from Mayapur, so he was teaching us like how a teacher should be. I asked the same question because he was asking us that you have to be confident. So I was saying that how do we, like, you act confident, you behave confident, but how do we bring this together? You have to have confidence, you have to have humility. For a devotee, it is very difficult because outside world, they're just confident. And if you see the Bhajananandis, they're just humble. But this Goshtanandis who have to preach also and be humble also and confident also, it's very complicated for those. So I asked this Prabhuji, and he replied, but what I end of it, I understand that we have to find a balance. We have to also see who is the audience. If it's completely new person, we won't repeat it again and again. My situation, I'm being honest, I really don't have any realization. I'm in front of the deities. I'm not supposed to act as I know things. And you all are my seniors. Srila Prabhupada is here. So this is a temple surroundings. It is a situation where we have the freedom, the opportunity, we have the freedom to act as a devotee or to behave at least as a devotee. But if you go to outside world, you go to a college and you're preaching about Krishna consciousness, even if I'm not confident, even if I don't know the matter completely, as Prabhupada said, you know two lines, you speak those two lines, but with confidence, right? We have to speak, because if only convinced people can convince. And then this is a question, right? If that person hasn't got anything in devotion, why is he there for 50 years? I remember once my Maharaj was asked and he said, I cannot remember a single day when, I had a doubt about Krishna or Krishna consciousness. 50 years. Not a single day doubt. But material world, materialistic people, they doubt every day. Am I doing it right? Is this the profession? Even at the age of 70, sometimes they change profession. Thinking, is this the thing that I was supposed to do? Is this the wife I'm supposed to have? Are these the children I should have, or the house or the car? They're confused. So when we try to help them, we have to be confident. But in the core of our heart, we know whatever we are speaking, like Arjuna, right? When he fought with the Kauravas, when he fought confidently. That time he was not doubting. He got his doubt, Krishna cleared it, and then he fought. right? But as soon as what happened when Krishna disappeared, he lost, he could not even win over the simple cowherd boys. He could not protect Krishna's wife. Of course, it's a part of Leela, not going from that side, just saying the external side of it. That he said, because Krishna is not there, my abilities are gone. So as a devotee, we understand that I am able to speak here because Krishna, internally as Paramatma, Chitta Guru, and externally as, the Guru, as the deity form, as Srila Prabhupada, Param Guru, they are all inspiring us to speak. They are giving us the ability. This is not our own ability. This is given to us. And we are using it for Krishna. So this is my understanding, Prabhu. Yes? Yeah, I asked that question too. I asked this question too, that are we not being pretender, that we are actually confident outside and internally we are humble and things. And then I asked this Gaurang Darshan Prabhu, and like Krishna says, like, you, if your senses are not in control, you're acting as if your senses are controlled. So are we not being, what is the word? Pretender. Yes, no, just not pretender. What is the, no, the Sanskrit word is, anyway, okay, the pretender. Are we not being pretender? Prabhu said, it is not that you are purposefully not controlling your senses, but this is something that you are not able, but you are still trying. It's not that you don't want to be a pure devotee. You want to be a pure devotee. You want to do pure devotional service, but with the current conditioning, you are not. So long you are on the path with full sincerity, with all sincerity that, no, Krishna, I want to be pure devotee. I want to be like that. So long you're endeavoring towards it, it's nothing wrong to speak with confidence because you are not saying it. This is Srila Prabhupada's realization. That's why Prabhupada says, repeat what I said. Why we are trusting? Because Prabhupada has already realized it. So we are banking on Srila Prabhupada and we are speaking on behalf of Srila Prabhupada. Mm-hmm.
So we're in this process. We're trying to be fully sincere. So that is one complication. But for ourselves, say after 50 years, I have no realization. I have no love of God. Like you see some very that he remember there was Ramachandra.
Yes. Yes, and he got, yeah. I feel it's a, yeah, I feel it's very subtle, Prabhu. I mean, who can tell us more than you? You have practiced it for so long under the guidance of Srila Gurudev. No, but isn't it so much? No, culture doesn't do much, Prabhu. Prabhupada will say actually in the coming purport. Prabhupada will say it's not birth, it is how we do it. But I was thinking it is very subtle. It is something that you do. See, Prabhupada, once he was saying that, I will never fall down. Prabhupada said, I will never fall down. And then after some days, some devotee saw him, his disciple saw him that, intensely praying to Krishna. And then the disciple, they asked that, what were we praying? He was saying that I should not fall down. Do you see the contrast? Do you see, like they say in Krishna, all controversies, everything reconcile in Krishna. So Krishna can do your good. It looks like he is doing something bad to you, but yet that is the best for you. So yes, that is in. Yes. In that, till you, Prabhupada says that, Prabhupada said, that if you think you are liberated, you are a rascal. So you may realize whatever, but you're not supposed to speak it out. Because the moment that I've heard that Radhanath Maharaj also says that if you think you're humble, then you're not. So this is very subtle. That's what I said. I cannot, I don't have the experience of it. You will have. I can just repeat what I have heard from the acharyas and the gurus. But you would have had much better realization. So it is very, very subtle. Even if you are very confident outside, internally you know that it is Krishna's mercy, Radharani's mercy, Guru's mercy, Prabhupada's mercy that we are able to sit here, and that's how Prabhupada said, you're not qualified, I made you qualified, right? So that's how it is. But you cannot, but yes, when the audience is different, you just cannot go and say, oh, I don't know anything. Like we heard UTA, UTD, Keshav Maharaj, he gave a wonderful class, wonderful class. I mean, we all should learn from him how to give a class to the youth and those who are not in Krishna consciousness, the Western people. What an amazing class he gave in UTD. We went. And he didn't mention Srila Prabhupada. He didn't say exclusively Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, but he neither deviated. He spoke everything in line, totally in discipline, succession, totally. I did not trace people because UTD is the youth people's responsibility, but the class that was given, it was amazing. Like anybody will take it, anybody will take Krishna consciousness. But of course, they have to have the mercy of Krishna and all the technicalities. But yeah, I was hearing him and he was speaking. So
Oh yeah, I always want to dance. What do you got this? What do you got? I'm very. Okay, wait. Well, let me ask you on that one thing. With Buddhists, in the Bhagavad Gita, he who knows, does not speak. And he who speaks does not. So if you don't speak, how can you speak?
that's why I was saying, Prabhu, it's very subtle.
He who speaks does not. You're saying that you can't speak it, otherwise it ruins it. It ruins everything.
That's what I was saying, Prabhu.
So you're saying now we have to know our audience. So if we have to know the audience, that we have to know the audience also. Otherwise, how do you know? You can't just look at them and understand what they know, right? So it seems like when you're preaching, you must get to know your audience before you can speak.
We can also pray, Prabhu. I've heard Maharaj, Radhanath Maharaj, he prays that may I speak the right words at the right time for the right audience so that when I speak, I'm just paraphrasing what he says in it. And then, like it, may I speak in a way that it makes a difference in their life, they come closer to Krishna. Something like that. I'm just telling you the substance. But can I pause the class and we can continue after this? No, not for that. It's a. We should end the class at 8:30 because the break was. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Address.
Thank you for your.
But the other question I have for you, and I'll leave you with this, is when you say, well, the 2 points you made in the verse is somebody is pure and somebody is sinful. That was in the beginning of the verse. You said it like 3 or 4 times that I'm very sinful. There's a point. Maybe I'm not using the right word. Yeah, I'm very contaminated. I'm so contaminated. And then the other person is pure. Just that they're vegetarian? Is it that they marry? Is it that they, you know, well, what's why are there, but the right, like all of them. That's what I want to get at. I want to do this. Sorry, I put oh, you're in